Good morning, everyone. It's the 1st of January. So I'm going to do what's cracking to open up the new year. Oops, the tower just jumped out at me. What a good start. I want to say a huge thank you to all of your support in the past year. It has been such an amazing journey, and I've loved meeting you, reading for you, reading your comments, getting to know you on the lives, wherever it's been. Thank you so much for supporting me. My life is so much better for having all of you in it. If you want to know anything about me, I always say everything's in the box below. I'm about to do an update of all the details. But if you want to also keep in the loop with me, you can whip over to my page at the Aussie Goddess and just like my page. I don't really want to blurb on this morning. I just want to get straight into the reading. So I'm going to use the Modern Witch Tarot here. Okie dokie. All right, we're ready to go. Well, that's a really funny split. So I always leave it up to spirit to split the deck where it needs to be split. So what I do is when they say to me that I've finished shuffling, I just hold the deck in my hands and I just let them pick where I need to start. And they've actually picked just 2 or 3 cards in, which is a really unusual split. But look what we've come up with. Obviously meant for today. So we have the beautiful Empress coming through. So I feel like we are starting this year off with this beautiful energy of leaving everything behind and starting this year afresh, like not taking anything from the past year with us. I think we're all learning how to let go of things, how to release things. And I feel this is making many of you feel really beautiful and really feel comfortable in your own skin. The Empress represents Mother Earth or Gaia. So it's about being really closely connected to nature, feeling really comfortable with who you are. It's a beautiful energy. It's very fertile though. So for those of you who are wanting to fall pregnant, this is a really good time to go for it. For those of you who don't want to fall pregnant, just be a little careful. This is about fertility. I feel like we're all sort of ripe with new ideas, ripe with the enthusiasm, even though it's only a date. And a date doesn't really mean a whole lot. There's this expectation that we're moving into a new time and we're ready for whatever comes our way. All right, so I have the 6 of Cups coming behind here. Now, the 6 of Cups is the card of nostalgia, remembering. It's the past. So I feel strongly here that you may be looking at your past perhaps today and sort of trying to keep in mind the good things that happened, but being able to release the things that possibly haven't been quite so good along the way. This is really nice remembering and understanding that remembering is about remembering the good times and letting go of the bad times. The bad times just create toxicity and you're carrying that with you. So this is time to let go and look at what you learned from that rather than the situation itself. Okay, and look at this. You have the Strength card. Beautiful energy. So what we're being told here is that in letting go of the past, into stepping into this Empress energy, we are becoming the strongest version of ourselves. That means that we are really taking on board the lessons we've learned. We're taking on board, that perhaps things aren't always going to be, lollipops and marshmallows. Can't remember, lollipops and fairy tales, whatever it is. We know that is. We're realistic with this. We know what this is all about. We're grounded, we're smart, we are understanding that life's always not going to be rainbows and lollipops. That's what it is. But this is helping us to become a stronger version of ourselves. So accepting the perhaps the good things with the bad things is teaching us who we are. And I don't think this is who we are just at an individual level. I think this is who we are as a community, as a greater collective. So even though we have our individuality, even though we have our small units like families, schools, and those people that sort of stay close to us like our friends, it's really talking about you understanding that you are part of the bigger picture here. How beautiful is that? And that's your reward. So the Nine of Cups coming through saying to me is that by doing this, by accepting who you are, by understanding your own personal power and that you're part of a greater community, you are starting to bring in wishes. You've got wishes coming through in this year. This is really just crazy good energy. Look at this celebration, celebrating with family and friends. This year is going to be a huge year for many people. I feel like the universe has really taught us so much in the past year. They have taught us so much about ourselves. I always think, you know, the whole idea of just being able to accept things as they are is such a huge lesson. You can't fight against it. You can't control it. You can't make it do what you want it to do. So by accepting and understanding that's what you have to do, you have to accept and flow, then you're going to bring things to you this year. And I think some of them are going to surprise you greatly. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, here we go. Putting down the burden. So the Ten of Wands is the end of a cycle. It's saying here that you've closed something out. It's done. It's finished. Whenever I see this card, if I'm doing this in personal readings, I say to people, do you feel like, you know, you've got a sore back, you've been carrying the weight of the world with you? It's time to put it down. You are starting out a brand new cycle. So now is the time to release all of this stuff. You don't have to carry it anymore. All right, so we have the Hermit card coming through. So the Hermit card is very much the card of taking time out, you know, being in solitude, really sort of letting the world go by and sort of being in your own space, being comfortable where you are. Sometimes as the Hermit, it might be taking a couple of days away somewhere just so that, and turning your phone off, turning the internet off, turning everything off and just being. The time for just sort of sitting with yourself. Going deep diving. All right, so this is planning. So there we go. This morning, a lot of you are really looking at the future, really deciding whether this is the right direction for you, whether you need to check direction. A lot of you here look like you're planning perhaps for some sort of break or some sort of holiday, perhaps after quite a tough year here. So you may be contemplating, I know that we can't all travel to a lot of places, but you may be contemplating whether you can travel within your own country, whether you can just travel to, I don't know, another state, another place. But there's definitely this feeling here you want to get away for a few days and just allow yourself time to unwind, put down the last year. So I feel like a lot of you planning, you may be planning for, you know, looking at what do I want to do in the next year? What do I want to accomplish? I feel like it's that whole idea of New Year's resolutions. But I feel like here, this is a lot more than just having an idea of what you want to do. This is really contemplating, what do I want out of the next year? Maybe you feel, a lot of you didn't get so much out of last year. But you're definitely planning on direction. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands coming through with the Knight of Swords, the Page of Cups. Some of you are contemplating making an offer to someone here. We have the Magician. Some of you contemplating making an offer to someone. Now, whether this is in love, in work, job, whatever, there is some sort of offer here. For some of you, it may be talking with your partner or your family about moving. I feel like there's a strong draw here home. So some of you may be feeling like moving closer to your origin, your roots, wherever you come from here. But there's this sort of sense of wanting to get things in place now rather than waiting through the year. So this sense of adventure, this sense of newness. For others of you here, there may be somebody that you want to approach, whether that's for, it doesn't feel so much for work. It feels like you're approaching someone with some sort of proposition, some sort of request, maybe to work together. Doesn't feel like work. Feels more like partnership. Could be romance. But you're definitely contemplating working with someone this year. You know, bringing things together. Maybe you're starting a group up or starting some sort of friendship group. But definitely this sort of feeling of wanting to work with each other. Let's just keep going. Queen of Cups coming through with the Five of Swords. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles coming through here. For some of you, this is about love. You do have a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio figuring in this reading quite predominantly. It may be that you are offering to somebody after perhaps walking away from something. Maybe you've had some sort of realization here that this person has more importance in your life than perhaps what you thought before. The Magician is here, so I feel like you're manifesting some sort of, I'm going to put some more cards on it, some sort of energy of wanting to work with somebody here. All right, so we have the Empress coming through. She wants to birth new things, so that makes sense to me now. It could be that you're working with someone that you have worked with in the past or somebody that you've known for a long time here. There seems to be this idea of working with someone to bring in wishes here. So let's have a look. Perhaps you're trying to build something, create something new here. Possibly you are thinking of having a baby. Maybe you're looking at someone that you want to have a baby with. But I feel like for a lot of you here, there's this feeling of wanting to work with something to create something more. Something more. Business, a group, some sort of following. You may be wanting to work in partnership with someone for the greater good too. So you may be looking at what you can do in terms of the universe, the community, the environment. But this feeling of wanting to create with someone else is very strong here. But I feel like there could be some sort of wanting to create with someone from your past that you walked away from, or someone that walked away from you here. All right, let's see where we're going. Page of Pentacles coming through. All right, so clarifying, we have the Knight of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. Okay, I see where you're going now. All right, definitely. All right, this may not just be a person here. This is all major arcana coming through here. I could do a reading with all the, I don't like stopping on a major arcana, and you've just had a whole stack of them in a row here. So let me just have a look. So the Knight of Wands is coming through with the Five of Pentacles. So there's some movement here away from something that made you sad, made you unhappy. You could have been left out in the cold. There are changes you've been making here. For some of you, this is around about codependency, changing your ideas. Maybe you were quite obsessed with something or someone, but you're letting that go now. You're going through some sort of change here. And you're releasing the, right, okay. The Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune here. You're releasing some sort of conflict, but I don't feel it's just one conflict. I feel like you are making a decision here to let go of anything here that's held you back or stood in your way. So there's a very strong energy here of releasing. And I feel like here this may include either reconciling with people, but reconciling in a way that there is forgiveness and a moving forward or moving on. So for some of you, maybe going back and forgiving people, or allowing yourself to forgive people so that you can move forward. very, very strong here. I don't think this is just one person. I think some of you may be sort of thinking as this new year, as being able to move into the new year and releasing your past. And I mean thoroughly releasing your past. Some of you may be letting go of people, letting go of family members, letting go of friends here. Very strong energy here. There's this feeling of, with the devil energy. Let me just show you this because I think it's really important for you to see as the cards came out. Actually, that one came out before that one. That's what releasing karma looks like. Now, I love that we have the Lovers card here and the Devil card here because, as you know, they are very similar energies. And I feel like sort of this energy of releasing something that's held you back because you're allowing something to go and you're bringing something new in. And I feel like you're moving, and if you look at it this way, you're moving from some sort of codependent nature or some sort of tie to something, some sort of bondage to something through to the energy of the Lovers. So it's like you're moving from this energy of codependency through to love. Now, this is something to do with releasing karma here. We have the Death card here and we have rebirth. So there's a release here of something, whether that is just one person or whether it is a combination of energies. You may be releasing a lot of toxic energy here. But I feel this is deliberate. I don't feel that you're sort of going with the flow here. I think this is an actual, like, really getting into that Empress energy and being able to release the things that have held you back. Now, I know that forgiveness is a strong topic for people because people feel that if they forgive, they are allowing someone to get away with something. But forgiveness is never for the other person. It's only ever for you. And that is the misconception of the word. So there's this strong feeling that you are forgiving others to help yourself move forward. You're releasing bondage, stuff that's held you back. But to me, this is like almost like, as I said, a New Year's resolution. This is allowing people, places, everything to fall away so that you can release the energy that's coming through here. I feel this is why you're putting down the burdens of your past. And I feel that there's a strong feeling here that you may actually be contacting people to either, you know, just sort of put things right, let them go, whatever it is that you need to do. But there's this feeling here that you are actually making sure that everybody who's held you back in your life is no longer on your journey. Very powerful energy. But I feel like it's really helping you to just stand in that energy of the Empress. It's really helping you to understand who you are and what you're able to do. I mean, many of us hang on to things because we think somehow it represents who we are. We fight against things because we think it makes us look stronger. But actually, as you become more aware of the universe, you start to realize fighting against things is not really a healthy way for you to go. There's more power in just walking away. So I feel like a lot of you deciding to do that this year. All right, we pulled some new oracle cards. We're going to read from the Gods and Titans. Let's see what they have to say here. That's by Stacey DeMarco. Clearing out the proverbial cupboard, I feel. Oh, that one wants to come out. All right, we have Prometheus here, which is the card of altruism. Wow, okay, this fits beautifully with your reading. You are encouraged to make decisions or start projects for the good of all and seek out a healthy balance between the self and others. The story of the Titan Prometheus is complex and in some ways tragic. Prometheus, the son of the Titan Iapetus, was asked by Zeus to create man. Humans were formed by sacred clay made of water and earth and were fashioned in the god's image, unlike other animals. These new beings became beloved by Prometheus, even though it seemed they had no fur for warmth, no great teeth for protection, and they led short lives and possessed few skills to help them to survive well. Feeling pity for his magnificent creations, Prometheus decided to help them, although he knew doing so would bring down upon him the wrath of the king of gods, Zeus. Already in trouble for tricking Zeus into accepting a different, and Zeus' eyes lesser, way for men to honour and sacrifice to him, Prometheus could at first only watch as Zeus took the vital gift of fire from mankind. Prometheus knew that fire would allow men to grow and thrive and was necessary to their survival. He knew that all art and skill, like metalworking, would only blossom with fire. So Prometheus crept into Zeus's own hearth and, lighting a small flame within a stalk of giant fennel, took the fire and escaped the notice of Zeus, but not for long. Zeus instructed Hephaestus, Vulcan, to fashion women. Yes, as a distraction for man, and to rivet the body of Prometheus to a mountain. Here a great eagle would pick at Prometheus's liver until sunset every day, where the organ would magically regrow overnight, so he could relive the same agony each day for eternity. Happily, the hero Heracles eventually slew the eagle and freed Prometheus. Today we know how important altruism is, especially in a world that has grown as unequal as ours has. In a time of climate change and a bigger gap between rich and poor than ever, acting for the greater good, not just for our individual selves, will not just be an ethical act, but soon one of survival. If you work with fire, for example, you are a firefighter, Prometheus would make a great protective patron who would honour you for your altruistic qualities. Potters are also favoured by him. Prometheus's gift of a torch of fire is still remembered during the torch relay of the Olympic Games. How beautiful is that? There you go. I'll leave you with that. Beautiful. Thank you.